Ashley from Raising Sunshine Flower Farm. Today I kind of thought it would be fun to bring you along. We'll do a little tour of our flower garden. We have lots to plant out today. We have a lot of stuff to water today. So I kind of thought I'd bring you along. First, we have about our 200 sunflowers that were just started the other day. There's already some that have life. So I need to go ahead and water them, get them under the seedling lights so they can start growing. We have another tray of 200 that I need to put out in the sun outside. And I believe we planted all of them out, our other succession. I planted them all out the other day on a video with you guys. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and water these in real quick. And as you see, as I watered them, they kind of went under the dirt a little bit. Some are still sticking out, this one big time, but it doesn't really matter. Once they start growing, their roots will grow down in to the seedling tray. And I do have them on a watering mat. So everything that I just watered will drip down into there and it's not gonna get everywhere. Okay, so now we are out by the garden. We have 4 raised beds in our entryway, and as you walk into the garden, we have a trellis. We did buy a couple roses to go ahead and plant on either side of the trellis area to arch it over, and then, so I wanted to go around on each raised bed and show you what's going on. In the first raised bed, we have little baby bells of Ireland growing. We have that in a majority of this bed. And then we also planted, I want to say there's at least 20 tulips here, but we only have one coming up. They were planted very late, so it's kind of a little experiment, but as you can see, we won't be doing that again. Also in this raised bed, we planted out some anemones. I believe there's about 10 of them planted. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them coming up right now. We also planted some irises very late. Most of them have rotted. There's one coming up for sure, and there's one more on the end that didn't get rotted, but we'll see if it honestly comes out. This bed I honestly have not done anything with for over a year. Everything you see here is just reseeding itself. In this one, we have a ton of rudbeckia. I didn't plant any rudbeckia in this bed. We had a huge plant over here last year that obviously reseeded in this bed, and we have hundreds of plants. So like I was saying, there's a ton of rudbeckia in this raised bed. They're the normal black-eyed rudbeckia. Since we are doing a huge cut flower garden and we have markets to go to this year, I'm just gonna leave it, let it grow. It's going to take over this entire bed, which would probably look beautiful. Not only is the rudbeckia self-seeding in that bed, we have it in our grasses. We have a lot of it in our grass. We have a lot of dandelions too. In our other raised bed, we have something that I'm pretty sure is a sunflower. I'm kind of just letting it grow to see what it is fully, but it has been growing for about a month now. It has gone through some pretty hard freezes and it's still growing well. We have a carrot that is self-seeded, which will give us some beautiful seed heads. So I'm gonna leave that also. And here's another little sunflower. We'll just let those guys grow and have fun. In this area, we have planted 200 parrot tulips. As you can see, they're really short. They're already opening. They're budded. We have one in here. Where is it? This was the very first one, this purple parrot tulip. It was the tiniest thing when it was coming out. And look at this one. Look how beautiful that is. I'm not sure if you guys can see it on the screen, but it's like purple. It's pink. It's beautiful. The leaves. That's the only one like that. So, like I was saying, they're not really the best this year. I was thinking about just letting them go ahead and flower and do their thing, and you know, next year hopefully they'll be longer for us. We also planted some garlic in the fall time. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of it. These first 3 rows I planted November, and I thought it was like the perfect time. We're in Missouri, so it usually frosts pretty hard, pretty cold around that time, but we ended up not getting a real winter until January. But these ones were planted about a month later, and they are growing great. It's our first year growing them, so we may get like 5 heads, but hey, 5 heads is better than none. Then in this bed is kind of a blank slate. It does have fresh compost in it. Back in the fall we amended it. I have taken some compost out of this area when I planted the tulips, so we have about an open patch. I do have 2 peony roots planted there just because I didn't have anywhere to put them at the moment, and they were already growing, and I just didn't want to chance them dying inside their package. So I have them planted. We'll let them do their thing. If I need to move them, I'll move them. We also have some Dara growing, which is like a false Queen Anne's lace. They have been out here for about a month. They have some damage from the frost, but there is a lot of new growth coming on. So I'm very hopeful for those. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them planted in here. And then it looks like I had a couple straw flowers that are doing well also. It looks like there's another one poking through. Those we have planted here. This is a snapdragon. I'm pretty sure it's not doing anything. Yeah, I don't see anything on it. This guy will probably be pulled up. It was planted not last year, but the year before that. And last year it came back up. So this would be its 3rd year. So obviously it's not doing anything. So I'm gonna give it another couple weeks because it's not supposed to freeze and it's supposed to be gorgeous. So we'll let it do its thing for another week and go from there. So here we're looking in the entryway of our annual raised beds. Not just raised beds, but our annual plot. In here I have 2 chairs that I found at the thrift store. They were $5 each. I love them. I've always wanted to put planters in them, so I bought 2 planters that I loved. They got like these handles. I love I don't know what you call it, the scuffed up marks on it. So I thought it would look beautiful in this chair and having some flowers coming out of it, but they're way too small for the chair. So then I got these ones. They're really pretty green. They actually match our house. So I'm gonna go ahead and plant those up with some flowers soon. So those will look great. And then, like I said, I have roses that are gonna go around this trellis. Okay, so as we walk in to our annual beds, it's kind of hard to see, but we have one bed here, 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 and here. So right now we have 4 beds open. I have the tarp over this one to go ahead and finish killing off any weeds that may be under there, and I know there's a ton under there. In here, we planted out some Lisianthus. We have about 20 plants here, and then we have 2 rows of sweet peas that go all the way down. I need to finish planting out the Lisianthus today And I need to get these sweet peas trellised. They're laying flat on the ground. They're a little sad. I need to go ahead and fertilize them and get them growing on their stakes. Then in this bed, we have some sweet williams, and they are planted 9 inches apart, and they're just about all the way down this bed. If we take a walk, there's some of them are really growing well, and then there's some that are pretty small. But if we just keep walking, here's some bigger ones. And then we have teeny. So today we need to plant out these Lisianthus. I have 12 more packs that need to be planted out. We're gonna go ahead and finish planting them out in our bed that already has some Lisianthus and the sweet peas. Now that I have all of the Lisianthus planted, I'm gonna give them a really good watering, and then I'm going to cover them with shade cloth just because it's really hot out today. They have been out in the weather for the past week, so they have been hardened up. But just to make sure, after working so hard on these lizzies, I do not want them to perish because of something silly. See, I have now covered it with our Agro 19. It does have some holes in it. It's nothing fancy. It's just keeping the heat of the sun out from them and letting them have a day to adjust. They have been acclimated, but just making sure. Thank you for joining me today with planting our Lisianthus, taking a walk on our front raised beds. I hope to show you soon the inside raised beds, but time just got away from us today. It is nap time, and it is time to pick up Big from school. Thank you so much, and have a blessed day.